That's what you know. Yeah.
Dude, the zoning meeting next month, there's 18 cases on the agenda. 19, I'm sorry, 19 cases.
For next month.
Yeah.
Mr. Shea. You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the St. Tammany Parish Planning Commission. Today is Tuesday, October the 11th, 2016. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Ms. Casabon? Mr. Lauren? Mr. Richardson? Mr. Richard? Mr. Willie? Mr. Davis? Mr. Fitzmaurice? Mr. Doherty? Mr. Drum? Mr. Randolph? Chairman, we have a quorum.
Thank you. This time we would ask that you silence all phones and electronic devices. If you wish to appeal any of the recommendations of this commission, appeals cards are to our right. If you wish to speak in front of the commission, we would ask that you fill out a speaker's card. Each side will be given 10 minutes with 5 minutes of rebuttal. And lastly, at the end of the case, if when you exit the building, we would ask if you wish to talk more about it to exit outside, because if you go back into the lobby, it does echo into the chamber. This time, we'd ask you to stand with an invocation by Commissioner Randolph, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Fitzmaurice.
Gracious Father, once again we come to you to say thank you, Lord, for all the blessings you bestowed in our lives, watched over and protected all of us, our families, up until this point in time. And we thank you for this opportunity to meet as commissioners. Lord, we ask that you continue to bless the decisions that we make, bless those that we're making it for, bless our government in a mighty way. In all these blessings we ask. In your holy name, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. In our packets, we have the minutes of the September 13th meeting. The commission would please review, and I would entertain a motion or any corrections. Commissioner Davis.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Davis to approve, second by Commissioner Richard. Any further comments? Please vote. Motion carries. This is a public hearing. We invite the public to speak on behalf or in opposition of any cases that we would hear. Entering parish right-of-way, servitudes and easements. Entering parish right-of-way, 9th Street, Ward 3, District 2. Request to enter parish right-of-way for the purpose of laying and connecting to sewer and water lines. The debtor, Car Wash Revive, LLC. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Dennis Sharp. Staff.
Yes, this is a resolution granting Car Wash Revive LLC permission to enter parish right-of-way, specifically a portion of 9th Street for the purpose of laying and connecting sewer line and water line.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? If you'd please come to the podium, state your name and address, and just give us a brief statement on why you would ask for this.
Sure, yes, sir. Jordan Williams, resident 19384 Country Club Lane, Hammond, Louisiana 70401. Reason that we're requesting in this is the amount of water and sewer backflow that we'll be using. We'd like to connect to the main lines for that reason. Don't want to dump water on anybody else or send it back, so we thought that was appropriate.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Casabon?
Yes, it is appearing that this is a
a good move that they can tie in, and since they'll be using a great amount of water, I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Casabon to approve, second by Commissioner Willie. Any further comments? Please vote. Motion carries. Thank you. Minor subdivisions.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Minor subdivisions, 2016-433-MSP, a 5-acre parcel into parcels A and B, Ward 8, District 9. Owner Sandra Rapath, surveyor Johnny Bono and Associates, Inc., Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Gene Belisario. Staff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The owner is proposing to create two parcels from one 5.0 parent parcel. And since parcel A does not, technically meet the minimum 100-foot lot width on the public road due to the fact that the parcel is situated at the end of a cul-de-sac, a waiver of the regulations is required. It should also be noted that parcel A has in actuality a 165-foot width, but since simply not on the public roadway. And with parcel B, since parcel B has over 286 foot of lot width, the staff has no objections to the proposed minor subdivision request. However, if the commission decides to approve the request, a waiver of the regulations are required relative to the lot width for parcel A on the public road, which requires a 2/3 majority vote of the full membership, 8 members, in order to approve pursuant to section 40-100, waiver of regulations of subdivision ordinance 499.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? If you'd please come to the podium, ma'am, state your name and address and your request.
Sandra Repath, 37336 Alamosa Lane, Pearl River, Louisiana. Yes, I'm wanting to sell 3.88 acres of my 5-acre plot.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Casabon.
Yes, this appears to be a homestead that's there, and even though the frontage isn't there, it's because somebody's established that I don't have a problem with it. I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Commissioner Randolph.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Randolph. Any further comments?
With the waiver,
With the waiver.
yeah.
We have a motion by Commissioner Casabon to approve with the waiver, second by Commissioner Randolph. Please vote. Motion carries. Petitions request, entering the Tammany Trace, we have none. Revocations and closing review, we have none. Re-subdivision review. 2016-430-MRP. Pineview Heights, Square 6, Lot 7, into Lots 7A and 7B, Ward 4, District 7. The petitioner, Joseph and Deborah Sicard. The surveyor, John G. Cummings and Associates, Inc. The owner, Joseph and Deborah Sicard. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Jacob Groby. Staff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The owner wants to re-subdivide their lot into two 0.933 acre lots. However, parish code requires that subdivisions that are zoned A2 suburban must have a minimum 1 acre lot size with a width of 150 foot on the roadway. Both of these requirements are not being met. See survey attached of the proposed re-subdivision. Even though it is noted that this subdivision is in an older development where lot sizes vary anywhere from the smallest 75-foot wide lots to over 2 acres and larger in size, the Parish Planning Commission, according to our researching of the files, has only on one occasion back in 1996 approved a re-subdivision of substandard lots within this subdivision. Therefore, the staff does not support the re-subdivision request. However, if the commission decides to approve the request, a waiver of the regulations are required regarding the lot size and lot width issue, and a 2/3 majority vote of full membership is required, 8 members, in order to approve pursuant to section 40-100, waiver of regulations of subdivision ordinance 499.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? If you please come to the podium, state your name and address and your reason for the request.
Hi, it's Deborah Sicard, and my address is 65480 Mulberry Street in Mandeville, Louisiana. It's 1.866 acres. It's Lot 7 in Pine View Heights Farm. We want to divide it so that we can build our children a house next door to us. That is the reason, and also to conform with the surrounding area, because the lots completely surrounding us are approximately 30,000 square foot each, with 100-foot frontage by 200. They all fall short of an acre.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor?
My daughter's here who wishes to build next door.
Is that correct? Okay. Okay. Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, we close it to the public and bring it to the commission. Commissioner Davis.
Yes, I agree with Ms. Sicard. If you look at the lots from Maple Street over to Mulberry, from Judith all the way down to Oscar Street, it's an interesting concept on the mixture. If you look at Lot 1, according to the plat, there's actually 3 homes on Lot 1.
And that's right next door to me.
Yeah, and then Lot 9 has 3 homes and Lot 8. And being only .07 of acre off, I'll make a motion to approve with the waivers.
Motion by Commissioner Davis to approve, second by Commissioner Randolph. Any further comment? We have a motion by Commissioner Davis with waiver to approve, second by Commissioner Randolph. Please vote. Motion carries. Dorman subdivision review.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome. Dorman subdivision review, we have none. Tentative subdivision review, 2016-393-TP. Perilou Trace, Ward 1, District 1, developer owner, Perilou Properties LLC, engineer Aero Engineering Consulting, Inc., Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Marty Dean. This was postponed at the September 13th, 2016 meeting. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have some revised comments based on that last meeting. Comment number 1, subdivision with only one ingress egress shall be designated at a minimum of 1 14-foot wide ingress travel lane and 2 10-foot wide egress lanes. This issue was addressed at the last meeting, but I believe it was just an oversight on the developer amending his tentative plan. But he indicated at the meeting verbally last month that he had no issues with providing that requirement. Number 2, Section 032 of Ordinance 499 only permits a maximum cul-de-sac length of 700 feet. And since the proposed street exceeds that requirement, the developer is seeking a waiver of the cul-de-sac standards. You can see a copy of the letter attached behind the staff report from the developer asking for that waiver of the cul-de-sac. As you recall at the meeting last month, the commission asked the developer to take a look at maybe some alternative options to provide something of an intersection or a cross street to mitigate that. The developer indicates that he feels he cannot do that. Like I say, you just refer to the letter. Additional informational items, Parish Code requires that land clearing permit be applied for and obtained through the Department of Planning prior to the developer receiving a work order in conjunction with the preliminary subdivision review process. Staff recommends approval subject to the developer comply with all standards and comments. In addition, the commission decides to grant the tentative subdivision. A waiver of the regulations are required relative to the cul-de-sac issue, but pursuant to Section 40-100 waiver regulations of subdivision ordinance 499, which requires a 2/3 majority vote of the full membership of the commission in order to grant said waiver. Department of Engineering has some comments.
They need to show the distance from Perilou Road to the roadside ditch. This is the same developer, therefore resubmittal should be added to the subdivision name. This subdivision received preliminary approval on March 13, 2007, and a limited work order for clearing and grubbing on March 7, 2008. No work was accomplished, and the developer requested release of the maintenance obligation. Department of Finance released the maintenance obligation on April 26, 2013. A drainage easement is needed along the entire length of the south side of the subdivision. Add a note stating that the detention pond shall be maintained by the homeowners association. Need a cross-section for the ditch to determine if there's adequate maintenance area and state the easement is public or private. Adjust the property line in the typical section to match the 80-foot right-of-way width. Adjust the property line in the typical section to match the 60-foot right-of-way width. Verify with Tammany Utilities that the utility site will be large enough to accommodate the proposed wastewater treatment plant. Once again, they need a drainage easement at the rear of the southern lots to direct sheet flow runoff to the pond for retention prior to discharge of stormwater. Call out what is designated by the area shaded with dots. If it's wetlands, then stipulate the wetlands consultant that performed that determination.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? There's no one in the public representing the petitioner this evening. Is there anyone who wishes to speak in favor? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Davis.
I'll make a motion to postpone.
Motion by Commissioner Davis to postpone, second by Commissioner Randolph. Commissioner Lauren. Who's that?
I was just
Commissioner
going to make a motion
Fitzmaurice.
to postpone it indefinitely.
A motion by Commissioner Lauren to
Unless-
postpone
unless you-
indefinitely.
Did you set a
Yeah,
date?
Pug, we'll go ahead and call, I'm not sure why Daryl's not here. That's the developer's engineer. I'm not sure why he's here, but I'll give him a call tomorrow. I would just recommend postponement. I'm sure there was probably an oversight on their part. So I would just recommend a regular postponement.
Commissioner Davis, postponement for 1 month. Commissioner Fitzmaurice. Commissioner Lauren, you're okay with that? All right. And we have a motion by Commissioner Davis to postpone for 1 month, second by Commissioner Fitzmaurice. Please vote.
Did you go find out what the deal was?
Motion carries. Preliminary subdivision review, 2016-383-PP. Southern Oaks, Ward 1, District 4. Developer owner, Yenin LLC. Engineer, Kyle and Associates LLC. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Michael Lorino. Postponed at the September 13th, 2016 meeting. Staff.
The preliminary plans and hydrologic study have been reviewed by this office and an inspection was made of the site. It's recommended that the preliminary submittal be approved subject to the following: plans and specifications for the construction of the project's water distribution lines and sewer collection lines have not yet been approved by the Department of Health and Hospitals as required. No work order will be issued until the submitted plans and specifications are approved by DHH. In accordance with LADOTD's TIA acceptance, a left turn lane must be constructed westbound LA 22 at the proposed entrance. It will consist of a 50-foot storage, 385-foot deceleration distance, which includes a 165-foot taper and a 576 transition if symmetrical widening is used. Any deviation from these values must be approved by the design section. This improvement must be constructed before final approval will be granted for any future phases of this development. No maintenance obligation is required since this project fronts on Highway 22. Mandatory developmental fees will be required at the final submittal in accordance with Subdivision Regulatory Ordinance 499 since no public hearing was held prior to January 1st, 2005. Planning has the following comments.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Lost my place. The staff has reviewed the developer's recreational development plan and found it to be acceptable. See letter attached from the developer dated September 28, 2016. However, the developer will need to augment restrictive covenant number 14 relative to the amenities to state who shall be responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of same. Comment 2, furthermore, relative to restrictive covenant number 14, the developer wishes to amend to include the installation of the amenities for benches and playground equipment before the issuance of the 6th occupancy permit as opposed to after the 5th occupancy permit. Informational items, the parish requires that a land clearing permit be applied for and obtained through the Department of Planning prior to the developer receiving a work order in conjunction with the preliminary subdivision approval process. Staff recommends approval, subject to meeting staff comments.
Thank you. Is there any, Mr. Moran?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Paul Marone on behalf of Gannon LLC. You all may recall that this matter came on your agenda last month, and there were a few substantive items outstanding, particularly some drainage issues with the engineering staff, which we have since resolved. With regards to the items on the list this evening, we have submitted the plans and specifications for the water distribution and sewer collection lines to DHH. We were waiting for some comments back from the utility provider, which we now have, and so we're able to proceed with DHH. We hope to have those shortly. We have no objection to the terms of the construction of the turning lanes. We understand those and have no complaint or problem as proposed. With regards to the recreational development plan, we will amend restrictive covenant number 14 to provide that the homeowners association will be responsible for the maintenance of the amenities. There will be a mandatory association in place for this particular development. Restrictive covenants detailing all of that will be prepared, executed, and filed at the time of the plat, but before any lots are sold, so that the lots are sold subject to that, and the mechanism will be there to make sure that those amenities are properly maintained. Item 2, after the lawyer in me got a little concerned about having the amenities being due after the 5th, because it seemed to me that could be any time from here to eternity would be after the 5th. So I thought it might be better to put a drop dead date and say before the 6th. So it's probably just a minor change, but I felt better that there would be no confusion in the event that we all weren't here one day when somebody was trying to figure out what we meant there. So that was the reason for that minor modification. Otherwise, we would respectfully request your approval subject to the staff's comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions that any of the commissioners might have.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of this? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Lauren.
Yes, Mr. Morone, can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
Looking at the plat, do you have the big plat or a version of it?
I believe I have a version of it here, yes.
Okay. If I'm reading it right, the only entrance and exit will be that one off of 22?
That is correct. The primary ingress and egress is off of 22. If you will recall, when we went through the PUD approval, there is an emergency ingress and egress to the side road, which I'm drawing a blank on the name of right now. There was some concern about having a full access way there because of the traffic that it could put on that road, but the concern was if somehow the primary entrance got blocked, there needed to be a release valve, and that is the emergency ingress and egress that's shown there.
Well, my concern is the documentation says it's in flood zone C, but yet if you look at the little strip that goes from the subdivision out to 22, the little connector, it goes right through wetlands. And with the flooding we've had here lately, I would hate to see this many people either trapped in or out of their homes.
That's a good question, and the wetlands on this site, particularly in that area, are wetlands. I would call them compounded wetlands because we're dealing with relatively flat property there. I wouldn't want you to envision wetlands in the sense of a swampy area in any way. This area right in this stretch is not subject to inundation. There are no streaks, rivers, or anything of that nature that is leading to this. The water that would have accumulated there, that would have created the hydraulic soil, is really a result of it not being able to run off because of the flatness of the area. So there is not, it's a good question because there are wetlands, but these are not wetlands that are subject to inundation by a body of water that's nearby.
Well, the reason it comes to mind, there are 2 or 3 subdivisions that I know of that it doesn't take a hurricane before the low spot blocks the only entrance in and out. Copal over and Mandeville is one.
Right.
And those beautiful homes along the river in Madisonville, when the river gets up on a high tide and there's a heavy rain, people can't get to their homes. The water's waist deep just because of this, you know. But if that's not the case here, you
Right.
answered my question.
And this is different than those situations.
Commissioner Davis?
Yeah, and I also think that the construction of the pool and the cabana after the 40th percent of the certificate of occupancy is sufficient, so I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Davis to approve.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Randolph. Any further comments? We have a motion by Commissioner Davis to approve, second by Commissioner Randolph. Please vote. Motion carries. 2016-384-PP, Pontchartrain Medical Park, Ward 4, District 5, developer owner, Vocal McWilliams Construction Company, engineer Kelly McHugh and Associates, Inc., Parish Council Representative, the Honorable Reichert Toledano, postponed at the September 13th, 2016 meeting, and the developer requests postponement until the next meeting. Staff, any comments?
No comments.
Is there anyone in the public? Mr. Marone?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Paul Marone again on behalf of Mr. McWilliams. We believe that we've addressed just about all of the staff's comments, but the need for the table really arises through our continued discussions with Councilman Toledano and some of the residents in Colonial Court. We have been exchanging letters and proposals to try to work out some of the issues that are existing. We're very close, and we all believe that another 30 days would be beneficial to try to help us get it across the finish line in hopes that when we come back to you in November, we will have addressed those issues adequately.
So, Mr. Marone, you would like 1 month of postponement?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the postponement? Anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Hearing none, close it to the public and bring it to the commission. Commissioner Fitzmaurice?
I'll make a motion to postpone.
Okay. Second. I have a motion by Commissioner Fitzmaurice to postpone for 1 month, second by Commissioner Lauren. Please vote. Motion carries. The next case, 2016-424-PP, is Money Hill Plantation. I'm employed by Money Hill Plantation, therefore I will recuse myself and Commissioner Richard will chair. Thank you.
Thank you. 2016-424-PP, Money Hill Plantation, Phase 7B, Hidden Lake, Ward 6, District 6. Developer owner, Money Hill Plantation LLC. Engineer, J.V. Burks and Associates, Inc. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Richard Tanner. Staff?
Preliminary plans and hydrologic study have been reviewed by this office and an inspection was made of the site. It's recommended that the preliminary submittal be approved, subject to the following: informational items, plans and specifications for the construction of the project's water distribution lines and sewer collection lines have not yet been approved by the Department of Health and Hospitals as required. No work order will be issued until the submitted plans and specifications are approved by DHH. No maintenance obligation is required since this is an extension of private roads. No mandatory developmental fee is required at final submittal in accordance with Ordinance 499 since a public hearing was held prior to January 5th. Planning has no comments.
Thank you. Mr. Burke?
Hi, I'm Sean Burks. I'm the engineer for Money Hill Plantation. This is just a continuation of the kind of master plan PUD of Money Hill. This is Phase 7B. It's 24 lots on 24.9 acres. Just here if anybody has any questions.
Thank you. Is anyone else in the audience wish to speak in favor? Is there anyone in the audience that is opposed? Seeing none, I'll close the floor and open it up to the commissioners. Commissioner Randolph.
Mr. Richard, I motion to approve.
I'll second it.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Randolph, a second by Commissioner Casabon. Is there any further comment?
I appreciate Mr. Burks only having one informational item on this.
Well, it does make it easy having a long-term master plan development.
Thank
I
you.
would like to say it's me, but it's the development too,
No,
so,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Comments noted. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll put it to the vote. I need to vote. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Is that my agenda? Thank you. 2016-425-PP. The Preserve at River Chase, Ward 1, District 1. Developer owner, The Preserve at River Chase LLC. Engineer, SLD Engineering LLC. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Marty Dean. Developer requests postponement until the next meeting. Staff?
No comments, no objection.
Is the developer here or a representative of the developer? No. Is there anyone in the public who wishes to speak in, excuse me, in favor? Anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? If not, close it to the public, bring it to the commission. Commissioner Lauren.
I make a motion to postpone until the November meeting.
Motion by Commissioner Lauren to postpone until November. Second by Commissioner Fitzmaurice. Any further comments? Please vote. Motion carries. Final subdivision review, 2016-426-FP. River Park Crossing, Phase 1, Ward 1, District 3. Phase 1, Ward 3, District 3. Developer owner, D.R. Horton Incorporated. Engineer, Kelly McHugh and Associates, Inc. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable James Red Thompson. Developer requests postponement until the next meeting. Staff, any comments?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I had an opportunity to speak to the developer's representative who they requesting postponement. They had a meeting with the engineering department last week, I believe. There's some outstanding issues that need to be resolved, so they requested the postponement.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the postponement? Anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Randolph.
Yes, Chair, I make a motion that we postpone until the next meeting, 1 month.
So moved. Commissioner Lauren.
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Lauren.
I'd also make a comment that I would much prefer to see them postponed for a month until they can clean them up and resolve the issues and bring them with a clean document than for us to be approving them with a long list of things that yet to be done.
Or it's, I think the commission has demonstrated, if they do have a long list, that we probably will postpone. So we echo your comments and thank you for those. We have a motion by Commissioner Randolph to postpone for 1 month, second by Commissioner Lauren. Please vote. Motion carries. Proposed amendments to ordinance 499, we have none. Old business. SD 06-12-047F. Prudent Creek, Ward 3, District 3. Developer owner, Prudent Creek Partners LLC. Engineer, Kelly McHugh and Associates, Inc. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable James Red Thompson. Request by developer to waive a portion of the 5-foot no access servitude for Lot 40. Staff?
Thank you, I was gonna let you handle it. The developer is requesting basically it's gonna end up being an act of correction. If you look at the survey, the lot that's on the frontage there, they can't technically meet the requirements for the no access easement because of the dimensions of the lot. So he's requesting a waiver of a portion of that, excuse me, of that lengthwise, so they can go ahead and put a driveway into it. Engineer department, I believe, doesn't have an issue with that. Okay.
No objection.
However, it will require an act of correction to be recorded, but the commission will need to make the decision whether to approve it or not.
Counsel, for the active, for this, does it require a two-thirds? Two-thirds, so 8 votes. Thank you. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak in favor? Please come to the podium, state your name and address, sir.
My name is David Weber. I am the developer of Prudent Creek.
And the reason for your request?
Basically, this is a difficult lot to access the way it was placed on the plat, so it was, as Ron said, a corrective measurement for that only.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor? Anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, we close it to the public and bring it to the commission. Commissioner Davis.
Yes, sir. I have a question, please? On this lot 40 that you're talking about, the entrance off of Penn Mill Road, is that correct?
It's actually 200 feet back from Penn Mill Road. But yes, it's the first lot as you come in. It's not number 1, but it's lot 40.
Okay, and you were saying something about a driveway. Are you going to have the driveway on the side of the lot, or is that going to be right at the very entrance?
It will probably be in the rear side of the lot.
Okay.
So it will not be 60 feet from either corner
Gotcha.
of the front corners.
Okay, thank you. I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Davis to approve. Second by Commissioner Fitzmaurice. Any further comment? If not, we have a motion by Commissioner Davis to approve with waiver. Second by Commissioner Fitzmaurice. Please vote. Motion carries. Is there any new business to come before the commission?
Yes. Just another reminder, both meetings next month are on Wednesday. They have early voting in the council chambers for the zoning meeting, which is normally on Tuesday. So it'll be held on Wednesday, which is the 2nd. And the planning commission meeting is going to be held on Wednesday the 9th because the 8th is a election day holiday.
So we will have.
So both meetings in November are going to be on Wednesday.
So the
instead of
zoning
Tuesday.
will be Wednesday the 2nd,
Yes.
and the planning will be on Wednesday.
Oh, and just so everybody knows, the last update that we got on Dave Doherty, they started his surgery late, around 3:30. So I believe maybe in the next hour or so they should come out with another update. So I'll be thinking about him.
And Commissioner Casabon, one of our council members, if you would make a comment.
Yes, keep Mr. Red Thompson in your thoughts and prayers. He lost his mother yesterday, or last night.
So please keep the.
The
Thompson.
services will be Friday at Fielding's, 12 to 2.
So our thoughts and prayers are with his family at this time. Any other comments of the commission? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.